Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale. If you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure.
You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nerd.
So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews.
Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. First episode of season 17, I think it is. Spring of 2012. You know, winter's finally over here in upstate New York. Baseball's about to start, so I'm donning my Mets colors. And we're going with a New York beer. This is made actually 30 minutes north of me by Mendocino in Saratoga. The Hebrew and Coney Island line Schmaltz Brewing Company. This is their first new year-round beer in 4 years, and their first ever single IPA. It's called the Hop Manna Hebrew IPA. Dry hop with Centennial Cascade and Citra. 65 IBUs, not too bitter. 6.8 ABV, not too big. For malts, we got 2-row wheat, Munich, Vienna, Cara Munich 40, and hops, Warrior, Cascade, Citra, Amarillo, Crystal, and Centennial. Alright, it poured a dark color at first, but you know, now that I'm holding up to the light, it's a little more of a bright orange. Not sure what it looks like on camera. Kind of like a just straight up orange, slight kind of burnt umber, brownish tint to it. Nice, about a 2-finger creamy white head on there. I can tell it's Citra hops in there. I mean, it definitely has that classic Citra smell that like from Zombie Dust and Ryan's Homebrew. Just that juicy tropical fruit juice, like nectar, extract, concentrate type smell to it. Yeah, definitely kind of more juicy, like mango, guava, passion fruit. Not so much citrusy per se, but there's plenty of citrus in there too. Definite pine. Certainly a lot of pine needles in there. Doesn't smell that sticky. Shouldn't be. You know, at 6.5, 68 IBU, so let's see how it tastes. Cheers. That's really interesting. I got a lot of different flavors right on that whole first sip. I mean, like, started out like really bitter right away, transitioned to the kind of well, not sticky, just like the fruit juice, like kind of concentrate sweetness. Finished it on the end with like almost like kind of that kind of coffee bitterness, like Dogfish 60-90 minute tend to have. Slightly bitter aftertaste, not too overwhelming. Get a little bit more dryness now. Not as much fruity, like the fruitiness kind of faded away quickly, which is kind of a bummer. I really like that. Getting more of like just kind of dry maltiness now. And then now the hops and the bitterness is kind of lingering. Yeah, it's starting out pretty well. So I still got, plenty of beer here left. So I'm going to sip on this and we'll come back with my final thoughts on the Hop Manna. Cheers. Oh, there you are. Alright, so final thoughts and grades for the Hop Manna IPA. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's a good beer. It started out really, really interesting. I love that tropical fruit smell and taste. And then it just kind of changed on a dime after only like 2 or 3 swigs to like something much more malty, like kind of like in that Colorado IPA type of style. I started to pick up a slight kind of golden lollipop flavor, which I've mentioned on many episodes over the years. It's a flavor and an aroma, almost like a kind of like a solvent kind of smell that I really hate. I noticed a lot more like a earthiness on this beer. A lot of like black tea kind of taste to it. Slight bit of coffee. Kind of, and definitely more pine needles, kind of like tree barkish, which is kind of ironic considering how citrusy and fruity it smells, but it doesn't really taste that way. It's a very drinkable beer, though. I have to give it that. I mean, it's not. I keep, I'm looking at this as a bomber. I keep thinking it's an Imperial. It's only 6.5, so I mean, it's only a little bit bigger than like a Dogfish 60 Minute. In fact, I don't know why they chose to put this in bombers, because I think this would lend itself much better to a 12-ounce bottle or can that comes in a 6-pack rather than just buying a single bomber. I don't think of beers that come in bombers as like really kind of special occasion expensive beers, but this is something more I'd rather have, 6 of for, $8 to $10 to $12 than one bottle for $6 to $8 or whatever. Well, really getting off subject. But yeah, anyways, it's a good beer. It's nothing amazing. Plenty of flavor. Drinkability is really nice. I have no problem at all killing this whole bottle in like less than a half hour. Definitely a kind of dry, hoppy aftertaste, but it's very, very tolerable. Pretty versatile beer. I mean, it's just fine to drink on its own. I think this would, go quite well with pretty much any meal. Nothing too extreme though. So, yeah, that does it for this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Thanks to you guys out there for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.